Hey y'all, today's video is going to be why I started my booktube channel as a disabled, chronically ill, and part of the LGBTQ community. Booktube has always been more than just a story to me. There are reflections of my experiences, a source of comfort, and a way to connect with the world as a Mexican American, multiply disabled, and chronically ill, and part of the LGBTQ community as a reader. I often struggle to find videos like mine in mainstream conversations about books. I wanted a space where I could share my love for reading while also highlighting the importance of representation. That's why I started my booktube channel, to create a platform where my perspective could be heard and where others like me could feel seen. When I first discovered booktube, I was drawn to the passion and enthusiasm of the community. Watching others talk about books with some of my excitement made me want to join in, but I also noticed something missing. While there were many diverse creators, I rarely saw discussions about books through the lens of disability, chronic illness, and intersectional identities like mine. I realized that I wanted those conversations to exist. I had to start them myself. My channel became a space where I could talk about books not just as entertainment but as a reflection of real life experiences. Growing up, I often felt isolated in reading experiences. I loved books, but I didn't always see myself in them. When I couldn't find stories with disabled or chronically ill characters, they were often inaccurate, harmful, or written through an outsider's perspective. I wanted to change that by I wanted to change that by amplifying books that got it right and called attention to the ones that didn't. My channel gave me an opportunity to engage critically with representation in literature and advocate for stories that authentically reflected disabled and chronically ill lives. My identity as Mexican American also played a huge role in why I started my booktube channel. The publishing industry has long been dominated by mainly white authors, and while progress is being made, there is still a lack of stories centering Latin characters, especially genders outside of contemporary fiction. I wanted to uplift books that celebrate my culture, history, and community, while also pushing for better and more varied representation through my channel. I could recommend books by Latin authors and challenge the stereotypes often seen in mainstream literature. As an LGBTQ reader, I also found the representation in books was often limiting or misrepresented. I didn't see enough stories where queer or disabled identities intersected, and when I did, they were often filled with tragic narratives. I wanted to highlight books that showcased the full spectrum of LGBTQ plus experiences, including joy, love, and success. My YouTube channel became a way to celebrate the stories that reflected my identity and to encourage more inclusive storytelling. Beyond representation, my chronic illnesses and disabilities shaped how I interact with books, and I wanted to share that experience with others. I read primarily through audiobooks and sometimes ebooks due to my visual impairment. I navigate reading challenges that many able-bodied readers might not consider by discussing accessibility in reading, whether it's the importance of audiobooks availability or the need for more disability friendly publishing practices. I hope to bring awareness to the ways that books in industries could be more inclusive for disabled readers. Starting my booktube channel wasn't just about sharing love of books. It was a creative space where I could be fully myself. I didn't want to hide or downplay any parts of my identity to just like into a mainstream. Instead, I embraced all aspects of who I am and used my platform to discuss books through the intersectional lens. In doing so, I found a community of people who not only share my love of reading, but also relate to my experiences. My booktube journey has been about more than just books. It's been also about visibility, advocacy, and connection. I started my channel because I wanted to be the voice I wished I had growing up. A reader who didn't fit the traditional mold but still had a place in the literary world. Through my videos, I hope to continue pushing for better representation, fostering meaningful discussions, and making booktube a more inclusive space for everyone.
Swipe up to done. Pause.